There we go. Heck yeah. All right. This is a what is it? Let's call it the excess. An excess vlog. I don't even want to say excess. Let's not call it anything. I just want to press record and chat. So just like go through my rounds of scrolling through my Discord channels and seeing if any of my people are on, and it's like usually maybe someone will be on that I'm like game to chat with, but then they'll like be with another person, and it's like I don't really want to contribute to this giant group idea, like because then you'll like be hanging with a buddy, and then it's like you're hanging with a buddy's buddy, and it's like that buddy like wants you to be buddies with their buddy, so it's like we have a big buddy fest, and it's like I probably wouldn't be chatting with that person if it wasn't like us all here right now, and I'm only here because of you. So yes, yeah. So yeah, nothing too big about that, but I just enjoy very like one-on-one-y stuff, and yeah, because it's like the deep rather than wide, like you know what I mean, like rather than just spread out, you get to like go deep in one area that you actually give shits about, and maybe that's the element about it that I fancy most, but I'm not gonna get like too over into it. Yeah, let's see here. What I like to. Is there anything I want to chat about? Um, yeah, I'm. It's weird. It's like really. It seems like it's a challenge to like look at this month as a month and like wake up and like look forward to this month's doing versus like today's doing, today's doing the next day, today's doing the next day, and then we have this like giant like hmm, this giant string together chain of days where you're kind of focusing, or maybe like you have this like sense of urgency to you, like I need to make the most of the day, but it's like what if we just made the most of our month, what if we made the most of our year, our first quarter, our second quarter, third quarter, etc. um, our decade, what if we made the most of our decade and we were committed to making the most of our decade, and I feel like that would just grant us passive peace, maybe. I say passive peace, but like I don't know. But I do know it's really weird to consume stuff and feel like maybe you must contribute. I did that weird thing like from Harry Potter, that weird guy that like licks his lips. I don't do that usually. um, yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's like that, and that's like the unhealthy byproduct of consumption is like maybe like feeding your imagination's references with like some new idea that's not just you expressing something the way you want to. Like imagine if you didn't like communicate or like bounce ideas off of people, or like share your progress or maybe your ambitions or stuff that you're working towards, and you just kind of executed on it, and then like let it free, and then moved forward, and then like execute it again, let it free, moved forward, and then you have this like foundation of just shared you or your goals that's like uninfluenced because it couldn't have been, because you allowed yourself to like get lost in that state of just you and your fascinations. Yeah, because so often I'll find myself, and it's like a repeated thing. I'll be sharing something with somebody, like a friend that's a very close friend, like somebody like a loving, caring friend, and it'll just be like I'll like say too much. Maybe it feels like where I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm thinking of moving here, or I'm thinking of doing this, or I'm thinking of, and and then it's like you get their opinion, and it's like I know we care about each other and we're close friends, but like I don't want to firstly have to say like, cool, I value your opinion, but then it's like, oh, now I have this like, I don't want to even say it's a weight because I don't think really anyone cares. Like my close people are gonna support my decisions regardless of like what I decide for myself is best. But it's like, okay, now say I go in the opposite direction of what you maybe, I don't know, say advised or offered your opinion on. Oh, it's like what? Like, do we have less rapport? you know? So, it's a really weird feeling to like have to even contemplate or like confront or have present. I'm not sure how to word it. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, so let me see here. What do we got? Yeah, I'm only gonna chat for 2 more minutes. I'll allow myself to kind of go on for if I do want to continue going on for that long. Yeah, so I think that like finding a comfortable place to just be able to ignore everyone else, where you don't have to put yourself under some pacified influence, like say turn to some substance or this or that, like because I don't know if even maybe like coffee or caffeine is like considered something where like are my decisions and like are my actions influenced by this like stressful catalyst? Because like I know sometimes when I'm drinking some coffee, I'll get stressed out. I'll just get fucking upset, or it's very temporary, so it's very short lived. But it like pings me. I'll get pinged by this like frustration, like way out of proportion to like how I usually maybe would have been pinged by it or dealt with X, Y, or Z thing had it come up. So it's like, okay. So like, yeah, I think it comes down to like refining ourselves from this uninfluenced state, um, so we can live our lives as we want to. And then there's also this variable where like live our lives as we want to. Like, does that evolve? Like, is it wrong if maybe we experience something or take action in a direction only to feel how it actually feels to act upon that ambition and then be like, wait a second, this is not how I thought it might have been. Now we're like, oh fuck, I told everybody that I was this thing or I wanted to be this thing or I'm acting as this. Now if I fucking pivot, I have to, oh gosh. And like, I don't know, like that indecision right there. Like, is that the byproduct of too much caffeine? Like lack of exercise, like lack of meditation, like it's like I think it's like a self doubt kind of thing, but at the same time, like it's like a self certainty thing. If you're feeling a way that makes you say like I kind of am not interested in this right now, so maybe you're combating discipline because you know, like let's say look at the decade. Let's go back to the beginning of this chat, of this one sided chat, um, like what's my decade like? Am I working in the direction of my decade? Am I working in the direction of my year? My quarter for this year, my month, and you know maybe like a couple days off from something isn't bad in the grand scheme of things. Or maybe you just like, okay, I am this something, so now I must act as and deal with X, Y, or Z as this something, and then it's like it molds you into this like perseverant, is that a word? Perseverant person that like maybe does deserve more of what they actually have. Though I don't want to have like this coarseness to me. Like I'd rather be this like finely faceted stone that's like intentionally faceted, and rather than like forcefully whittled down to where it's like, oh, we cut one end a little bit uneven, so now let's just do all the other ends a little bit more so we can make up for that mistake. Um, Versus just being like, you know what? I'm setting that thing aside until I can execute on it the way I must. Maybe I need to practice. Maybe I need to refine some things within like my abilities. Maybe I get back to it, but there's also now arises the conflict of getting back to it. Like I think there's definitely value to finishing things when you start them, if it's a creative process. I know there's definitely journeys. People chunk up their work over time, and maybe again it's the same thing. Look at it as like, okay, how is this for the month? How is this for the week? How is this for the day? So yeah, I think zooming out and really kind of looking at things and taking a beat. Nothing has to happen right now. Like right now, in the grand scheme of things, acting upon like a minute's decision is kind of like something comes into your mind and all of a sudden it's now concrete. It's now the way that things are gonna be, you know, without even like no without discourse or like chatting with somebody. Yeah, chatting with somebody that's close to you to gain clarity. So like yeah, not even that, like as if that's necessary. Maybe it's even chatting with yourself, but yeah, I like hate that. I hate that there's like a distraction, like a cat shaking my door right now to try to get in. And it's like, damn it. I don't want that variable in my environment. I want to just have uninterrupted thoughts. So the value of me just having my own fucking space. That's something I'm working towards, and that's like the biggest thing I drew from when I talked about that whole look at things in the monthly route. I can't be upset if right now, this very moment, I'm not here right now. Like if I guess I can get up and just go. I can just leave somewhere, but then I don't have the luxury of a nice room to relax in and get some work done. So there's like, okay, now I must zoom out, see what's the best now path that I can step on that will certainly get me away from here. Because even the first steps on the path that get you further away from the thing you want right now to have, like, to be the reality, those steps are the like only tangible thing you could do right this moment to begin feeling the feeling that you must feel or you will feel when you have the thing you're after. So take action in the direction of your solutions. That's that. A little bit longer than those 2 minutes. Farewell.